Are we?
Go.
Hey Darcy, why don't you just go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of why you live the way you do?
No, of course. So my name's Darcy Jones. I've been a nutritionist for the past 6 years. I started my journey out as a personal trainer when I was 19. So I went to college for a little while, and I support, college. I really do. But it just wasn't for me. And every day that I was there, I just kind of had a negative feeling that wasn't what I was meant to do. It wasn't my journey. And so I left, and I felt like I had a weight that was lifted off of my shoulders. And so I got my personal training license. I'd started working out in a gym when I was 15 at New Energy Fitness in Berea. And I really enjoyed it. I started working out when I was really little. My uncle gave me a Bowflex and a punching bag. And so I was watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I was boxing and Rocky Balboa, and I got pretty jacked as a little kid. And so anyways, by the time I was 19, I got into powerlifting and bodybuilding. I probably weighed about 40 pounds heavier at that point. And so as I went down that journey of working with hundreds of people, maybe even 1,000 people, I started realizing that they were sick psychologically, physically, internally. They had a lot of diseases. And so it kind of led me down the path of nutrition because I figured out you couldn't outrun the fork. Now, some people have super good genetics, and they can. And some of the sickest people I've ever worked with had six-pack abs. So, they were nutrient deficient, they weren't eating enough, they were overtraining, they had psychological issues. We all have insecurities, no matter how beautiful we are. And that's why we're working out and bettering ourselves. But health is beauty. When a person is truly healthy, they're beautiful. And so as I continued down that journey of personal training and nutrition at Get Fit Athletic Club here in Richmond, Kentucky. I worked there for almost 8 years, and I had a lot of great mentors along the way. One of them's name was P.J. Jones. He was like my uncle. We told everybody, because his last name was Jones, that he was my uncle. And he taught me so much about business and marketing. And this is what he told me. He looked at me and he said, Darcy, he said, I don't care how great of a personal trainer or nutritionist you become if you can't market or sell yourself. And I always remembered that, and it has stuck with me, and it is the truth. And so as time went on, I was able to build my name up in the county that I live in, and work and help a lot of people better their lives. And I love it. That is my passion, is to be able to help other people. And so another mentor of mine named Bill, I won't use his last name, we'll just call him Bill, said, hey Darcy, the nutrition center here in Richmond's for sale. I went that day to the bank and got started on my loan. It's like when he told me that, it was where I was supposed to be, because it was a place that I could take my clients to have food and all the supplements that they need, and I didn't have to send them to Amazon and to Kroger and Walmart, Whole Foods, Good Foods. They could get it all there, and it was a way to work with the community and give people jobs and have young people like you working with me, and to be able to teach, guide, mentor. As you know, I love being a teacher. So my wife and I finally purchased the nutrition center, and we've had it for a year through this crazy pandemic, and had a child during that time. And so I'm here to tell my story of why that I live the way that I do and things of that nature. I really love teaching. I can say as a nutritionist and as a trainer, I'm a teacher. When you gain a PhD or call yourself a doctor, you're usually a teacher. A doctor is a teacher. So my goal in this documentary series and on the YouTube channel is to talk about life, nutrition, spirit, gardening, love, and ego. Because those are all things I think at this time in the world that people need to work on, is love, their spirit, and their ego. Because a lot of people are lost and have questions as so many truths are coming about in the world. I think that especially young men need a mentor right now, and so do young women. But I think it's best for, I think that all my podcasts, a lot of what I write, talks about is the connection to nature, because I kind of believe the world is sitting in the position that it is right now because of the disconnect from nature. Just like we're using technology as a tool, it's a blessing, but it has also been a curse because we've almost let our phones become our masters and enslave us. And so when I came into the woods and into this existence, it connected me back to my soul more than anything. And thank God for my neighbors. You know, they taught me so much. They grew up kind of off-grid. You know, they don't have birth certificates or social security numbers. They know how to live. They're great carpenters. They're highly intelligent. They're skilled hunters, gardeners. They've never been to school a day in their life, and they're some of the most intelligent people that I know when it comes to just living and common sense. You know, I love working in my garden. It's very peaceful to me. It's like counseling. It's my therapy. We may have to pause this for a second because of my neighbor. But he's coming up. I don't know if he's coming up to talk or what he's doing, or if he's going in the woods.
I got one more question, and then I'm gonna ask if you got any jokes.
We'll talk. We'll talk for a second. What's going on, my friend?
I'll just walk right out the door. Played a game right from the start. I trust you, you used me, and now my heart's all torn apart. I'm sailing on.
I was scared what happened kind of often when we're up here, but we can always fix it.
You're just not right.
Are there any regrets that you have with the choices that you've made thus far?
You know, there's really not, because I realize that all of the bad decisions that I made and regrets I learned from. You know, because if you never lose, then you never are grateful when you win. And so I think I'm really blessed at 27 years old to have the life that I do have. You know, I don't have Ferraris yet or some big mansion, but to me, I'm as rich as I ever want to be. I'm happy. I live in the woods. I have a family. I have a business, and I have animals. And at the end of the day, I could disappear if I wanted to. You know, I could sell everything I have and survive the way that I am, or the way that things are right now. You know, and if I look around often when I get stressed out, I walk into the woods and I look around, and I think, why do you ever get mad? But I'm a human. I'm only human, you know. But I don't, you know, I'm glad I tried college for a while. You know, I have some certifications and things of that nature. I thank God for having mentors that I've had. And Paul Chek was a huge influence in my life as a young man. In my opinion, he's the Einstein of fitness nutrition. And there's nobody in this present on the planet today that knows more than Paul Chek, and that's very strong for me to say. But if I were to write a book, Paul Chek would be in it. He, in my opinion, would be like a prophet on the planet today, and he should be written down and remembered forever for the things that he's done and the people that he's influenced, because in some way he's really changed the world. And maybe he doesn't even realize that. I think, you know, and there's nothing wrong with a dad bod either, because some of the healthiest people that I've ever met don't have six-pack abs. I'm kind of getting off track here. But we did a podcast one time about that. We were talking about, like, healthy people. But I swear some of the unhealthiest people that I have ever came in contact with on a psychological level and deficient level, like in their blood work, looked like bodybuilders. But they were severely, their cortisol's through the roof. But we can talk about that another day. I'm horrible at jokes, guys. Let's go eat a ripe strawberry, you guys. I've wanted to eat one of these all day. The sun hasn't been out in a few days, so some of these aren't too ripe. This little guy looks pretty good, though. We'll eat it. I really hope the cat didn't pee here. That would suck. But, oh, they're good. They're real good. This is the garden. A lot of this is for the chickens, believe it or not. A lot of what I eat are squash, zucchini, some yellow crooked neck squash. And I eat the strawberries. I eat foods that aren't inflammatory. So, like I said, tomatoes, peppers, they're pretty inflammatory. I will definitely eat a fresh tomato, though, this summer. I teach eating with the seasons. I will only eat tomatoes and peppers within the season. I will never eat them outside of the season. I find that they're just not that great for humans, but they taste delicious, I will say that. And cayenne pepper is really good in food. But this is the garden. A lot of this comes from, raised bed gardening comes from the Japanese. It's all organic. I use my own compost. The chickens over here, their poop is my fertilizer, and the ducks. So that's what you see here. These are all organic vegetables, heirloom seeds. Some of the seeds that I have cultivated because I let a lot of my plants go to seed. So we'll come over here now. This is the chicken and duck paradise. These over here, screwed that up. These are their condos and their pool. So they're all down there right now. As you can tell, they've ate every blade of grass in there. So I'm in the process. I'm going to cut a hole out in this fence and put a temporary fence out here. And they're going to be able to eat all this green stuff because I literally go around every day and I pick greens and vegetables out of the garden in a big bucket and I dump in there for them to eat. And so I just recently got 4 ducks. 3 are female pecans and then a drake male. And they drink a lot of water. Like, I may end up having to get rid of them because they drink so much water. But here's their little baby pool. They just need to dunk their head in that a few times a day, but they drink a lot. And I enjoy it, though. I enjoy raising animals quite a bit. I like the birds. And we eat a lot of eggs. My wife and I, we eat probably 8 eggs a day. I eat them, she eats them, and our son eats them. You guys, here's my little building over here sitting in the woods. It's a wood shop. You guys want to see in it? So it's working in progress. I got a big deep freeze in. It's a storage place too. My mountain bike's in here and all kinds of things. But this is it. All right, so these are all our mushroom oyster logs. I love oyster mushrooms. So these are pohu mushrooms. They're a super meaty oyster mushrooms. And so what I did here is something called the totem pole method. I have 41 logs total. And these should inoculate this fall. They're delicious. Fungi is wonderful. And I need to get these trash bags out because a lot of water's sitting in there and it shouldn't be sitting for a long time. Let's go over here. These are golden oysters. So these will start flushing really soon. I found some slugs on there and I've had to get them off. But these are a small mushroom. These are great for a stir fry, a salad. Fungi are amazing. You know, they're an amazing plant. And we've realized that if you just eat 2 cups of mushrooms a week, it could lessen your chances of getting cognitive disease by 50%. Things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia. A lot of the longevity experts that work with me think that we don't need mushrooms, that they can be inflammatory. I disagree. They just need to be cooked. Mushrooms are poison, and these are domesticated, so they're not, but they've built defense mechanisms to kill us. That's why most wild mushrooms in the woods will literally kill you. And that's because they built defense mechanisms to do so. But they work with the plants. Fungus works with everything around us, including you. You have fungus that lives in you. Again, Paul Stamets believes that they came here from another planet. I don't know about that, but they're definitely an interesting plant, or fungus. They're not a plant.
Do you have any mushroom jokes?
I'm horrible at jokes, Jenna. I'm horrible at jokes. But behind you are gray dove oysters in those logs, and they are delicious also. They're a meaty mushroom, and I can't wait. Those will come out this fall also. But yeah, mushrooms they're kind of alive. You know, when you eat them, you might turn into a mushroom. Paul Stamets thinks that maybe we came from mushrooms also. I don't know though. He wears a mushroom hat. I think he just wants to turn into a mushroom at this point. You know.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna I'm gonna shave my beard and get a little mustache and start driving a car around and say I'm the Mushroom Man. One of my buddies really is obsessed. He's the one that taught me all this. His name's Lowell. He helped me saw these. These are poplar logs, so oysters need softwood, and poplar's a softwood to grow out of. And he taught me all this. He helped me saw this up and taught me about the totem pole method. And so again, you know, I didn't just wake up one day and know how to do all this stuff. You know, I had to be taught. And so many, you know, men and women want to learn how to do these things, and you just need teachers, but you need time too, because people say, Darcy, you know, how do you have the time to do it? Well, I created a life that gave me time. And I'm still super busy, but I divide my time equally. I divide my time through the day. Usually it's 8 hours for work, 8 hours for family, friends, and myself, and 8 hours for sleep. And I find that is very, very important to divide your time equally. So this is my little paradise, my kingdom, my dojo that I come home to. This is what makes me happy, is my little paradise here in the woods. And so I look forward to making more videos and teaching you guys, and you being able to experience my life with me, because a lot of television shows suck these days, and I want to make you have something to watch that makes you happy, and it's positive, it's not negative, because you are the architect of your life, and what you watch and what you think turns into reality also. Thanks. Have a great day.
There's a time to live and a time for a man to die.